Well, hello, I'm Dan Winkowich with Tri-States Grain Conditioning, and this morning we're going to talk about the question of why should I monitor? I often get that question over the phone or in person. Well, why should I monitor my grain? My grandfather didn't monitor the grain. My father didn't monitor the grain. So why should I be doing it? Why should I invest that money? And so I'm going to give you 3 reasons this morning why I believe you should. And those 3 reasons are the following. 1, because you don't know. Number 2, because it saves you money. And number 3, because it gives you peace of mind. So first, let's talk about the fact that you don't know. Well, oftentimes people will tell me, I have a good nose. And so I climb up there and I smell my grain, and I can smell it when it's starting to get hot. Well, that you may have a good nose, but by the time you can smell it, you've already lost a lot of money. So by the time you can smell it, it's too late. And while that worked well for your grandfather and even for your father, and my father did it himself, it doesn't work for you because grain bins are now larger than they used to be, a lot larger. And by the time your grandfather smelled it, that was fine. But in your case, now already you've lost 200, 500, or 1,000 bushels of grain, and that's money. So you don't really know. That's number 1. Now, number 2, let's talk about the fact that because it saves you money. How long do you run your fans in the fall when you put your grain in the bins? You run it for a day? You run it for a week, 2 weeks? You don't know how long to run your fans unless you're monitoring that grain. With the grain temperature cables that are in the bin, you can watch that cool front rise up through the grain, and as soon as the grain is cool, you shut the fans off, you leave them off, and you're done. Now, if you do leave them running longer than you need to, how much have you overdried your grain? Isn't it fun to get to the elevator and find out that they're going to dock you for shrink because your grain is too dry? So the second thing that these temperature cables will do will save you money. The third piece of this is peace of mind. You start to get peace of mind by a smart investment. By investing 1 cent per bushel, you can monitor 15% of your grain, or that center mass in the middle of your bin. If you spend 3 cents per bushel, you're covering 50% of the grain that is in your grain bin. And if you spend 4 cents per bushel, you'll monitor 100% of your grain that's stored. A good peace of mind starts with a smart investment, but it ends with knowing. And now that you know what's happening inside of your bin, you have peace of mind. And that is something that doesn't have a price tag. Thank you.